That's not good. Peace and shalom. Y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hit 1 if y'all can hear me. Wasn't really saying nothing before. I was just setting up, but just hit 1 if y'all can hear me. Let me know if the audio is okay. Hit 1 if the audio is okay. Yeah, just hit 1. Sorry for the late start on tonight. Might go live again tomorrow, a little early, maybe at midnight, somewhere around that time, 11:30 midnight. I want to jump on here real quick. All right, just want to make sure there's no like distortion or nothing like that. So just let me know if the audio is all right. Let me see something. Let's see. Bless you. All right. You can hear. All right. So this is on this one. I'll leave it on this one for now. I'll test the other one another time. All right. So thank you for joining in, family. Shout out to Youngster Surfer in the building, Tabitha West in the building, Steve Mikhail Key in the building, Dennis McMillan in the building, Tahira Beloved, West Cat 5. What's going on? J Lockhart 25. My brother, the Most High Child, Shayarala, aka Chris in the building, Mark Moore, Coy Walker. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? What's going on? So I'm just gonna give it a few more minutes. Y'all can definitely share this link. Hit the thumbs up. All right, all contact donation information is right on the screen for y'all. I'm gonna try to probably frequently change the wallpaper in the back to something that I find that's significant or something that's interesting or eye-catching. You know what I'm saying? So I'm playing around with the backdrops. So let me know if y'all like what's there. You probably can't really see what it is, but what I'll do is let me move. I'm gonna move this so y'all can see. All right, that's my backdrop image right there. All right, so if y'all know who that is and what that represents, hit me up. Let me know what's up. Make sure y'all been following, paying attention, all that fun stuff. You good? All right, so hold on. Yeah, so y'all let me know who that is in the back, what that represents, what's that all about, and why do I have it on my channel? It's interesting because I showed it before some time back, but all right. Shout out to Quincy White in the building as well. So thank y'all for joining, family. Thank y'all for joining. So this is a Freestyle Friday. It says Saturday Night Live. I know it says Saturday Night Live on there. I know. Let me change that. That should have been changed before I started this session. My bad. All right. Let me know if that's better. That should be better right there. Okay. All right. Shout out to Sam Bone in the building. What's going on? So the backdrop image y'all saw, somebody put in the chat who that is, what that represents, what's going on there. Let me know. Like I said, I've shown and spoken about this on this channel several times in the past. I want to see who's paying attention and whatnot. So I'm just gonna, today's just a freestyle. I had something I wanted to talk about before as far as teaching is concerned, but it's gonna freestyle tonight. Last weekend I was in North Carolina, in Graham, North Carolina. I was in High Point, North Carolina, and I was in Greensboro, North Carolina last weekend. Next weekend, I'll be in New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay. And then later on this year, I might be in Orlando or Houston and some other place that's like up in the air right now. So I have maybe about 4 of the destinations I'm gonna reach before the end of the year. But the next stop is New Orleans. So those of you out in New Orleans, definitely reach out, hit me up. I'll be staying with a good brother by the name of Shay Brooks. He set everything up. I'm gonna try to do a meetup somewhere. If not, he's having a session at his house and whatnot, like a Bible study or whatever the case may be. He wants me to lead it or whatnot and teach on an interesting subject matter in regards to the practicality of Vayikra chapter 11 and its relationship to identity, right, and why that's important. So I'm gonna go ahead and speak on that. Shout out to Donnell Jones in the building. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you're brand new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so every time we go live, you get alerted. Okay. Make sure you share this link. I'm gonna go ahead and share the link right now myself. So just give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and handle that. All right, again, don't forget, y'all can definitely let me know what's going on there in my background. Oh, and it's saying sundown Sunday. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Yeah, of course they would choose the craziest looking thumbnail. Hold on. Okay. All right, y'all make sure y'all share as well. Let's see. Okay. All right. What's going on, fam? What's going on? Shout out to Eliezer Ben Israel in the building. What's going on? Appreciate that thumbs up that y'all hitting, that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications and all that good stuff. All right. Make sure those of you who's out in New Orleans, definitely come check us out. We're going to put the address up, whether we're going to be in a local place or at the brother's home. We'll put up contact information if you want to come through for the session. It's not going to be nothing huge and big. It's going to be a little bit more private. And it'll be live streamed, so you'll be able to check it out on the live stream. You're able to make it. Shout out to 916 Shan in the building. What's going on, sis? All right, so just want to make sure I put that out there so that y'all are aware. And like I said, definitely hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying what you're seeing. All right. So with that being said, all right, we're gonna get started. Let's get started, fam. Let's get started. All right. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the brother Shay Brooks out in New Orleans, Louisiana, the one that is taking care of all the accommodations for me to go out there and speak. Definitely good peoples out there. So shout out to that brother. I also want to shout out Howard and Juanita Justilian. That brother and sister have been crucial to supporting this ministry. Made huge sacrifices and has been rocking with us hard body. So I definitely want to make sure I give a shout out to them because I definitely appreciate their support tremendously. I want to thank everybody else that's given a donation, that's done put us up in your prayers, people that has, shared information with us. You know who y'all are. If I see you on the chat, I'm definitely going to shout y'all as well because I appreciate all the support. Shout out to O'Shea White in the building and Sean McGee. What's going on? I want to also give a shout out to North Carolina. Wow, I didn't even get there yet. I'm giving them a shout out. Shout out to North Carolina, man. Yo, both those events in High Point and Greensboro, hundreds of people came out, man. Hundreds of people came out, and everybody out there showed love, man. I was surprised to see that many people gathered at High Point in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, wow, I was not expecting that many people to turn out there, but it was a huge turnout. And everybody I bumped into, I spoke with, people took pictures and everything like that. Man, y'all are truly hospitable out there. So shout out to North Carolina, man. High Point, Greensboro, people came from Durham, people came from Wilmington. You know what I'm saying? There's people that drove. I think they were driving from Virginia and they came out, and somebody wanted to come and say what's up to me. So I appreciate the family for driving all the way in that area. Some from South Carolina, some from Virginia, North Carolina, and I'm like, it looked like it could have been inconvenient, but they came there for the event. Some people just wanted to come there and just chat with me or whatever. So I definitely appreciate everybody that came out. Big time, especially big time. So I want to definitely give a shout out to, Ron Dalton and Benai Israel, who were the main speakers at the event. But shout out to my brother Chris in the building. He was one of the masterminds. Him and the brother Ugo were the masterminds behind this event that was going down. They helped push it and drive it into the hands of Ron and Benai, and then they took it off from there. So definitely big shout out to them for that. Shout out to my brother Yeshael Moore. Shout out to the brother Yeshael Moore, one of the greatest artists that we have in our community, one of the most slept on artists in the community. But we're working on changing that and bringing the brother out. Shout out to Jetson Silencio. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Shout out to Yehoshua Shamar, Natural Beginnings in the building. They're definitely going to subscribe to Natural Beginnings, especially to the sisters out there that are interested in taking care of their natural hair. There's tutorials on there. There's bedtime stories on there. And it's also like the real life experiences on how to handle your natural hair and what products is good for your hair, what styles is ideal. So you definitely want to subscribe to Natural Beginnings. All right. Let's get that subscriber count up to at least 1,000. So I know there's enough of y'all watching this. You could definitely click on the page right there that you see, the profile avatar that you see right there, and go ahead and subscribe. All right. Shout out to Kush X in the building. What's going on? John Williams. What's up? What's going on? Shalom. All right, so I think we're gonna throw some shout outs out there real quick. If I miss anybody in a shout out, just hit me up privately and I'll make sure I shout y'all out for your support, dedication, and so forth. Oh, I didn't even realize there was a time up there. Cool, that's good. That's really good right there. I like that. All right, so with that being said, let's progress forward. Now, I want to say this, and I'm going to say this in passing. More than likely, I'll probably go a little bit more in depth in it sometime in the future, depending upon how things develop. But I just want to say, and I want to speak and make this extremely clear, as a father, as an uncle, as somebody who has close friends whose children I would do anything for. I do not condone pedophilia in any way, shape, or form. I do not condone molestation of children. I do not support rape in any way, shape, or form. I've never been involved in anything along those lines ever in my life. To me, sometimes it's unfathomable how some people can even conjure a thought up to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. I don't know how that's even possible, but I don't support anybody who's been implicated and convicted of doing any of that. That behavior is not condoned. I do not support it. I do not associate myself with that behavior at all. What I want to say to the family out there, please do your best to protect your children. Okay, the men, protect your children, and the women in our community, whether they're your wife or your fiance or your significant other, or you can call them your Isha, or whatever you want to call them, or just a sister in the truth. Please check on them. Please make sure they're doing okay. All right. If you see signs of abuse of any way, shape, or form, or depression, speak to them. You know what I'm saying? Get them some assistance. Get them some help if you can't provide it. You know what I'm saying? Let's not quiet any voices, still voices that are trying to speak We are to be advocates for justice. I did a lecture on this some time ago, way back at the end of 2016, which is called "A Closed Mouth Doesn't Get Pled." So we cannot keep quiet on matters and issues that are impacting our community and putting our women and our children at risk. Okay, so men, we have that responsibility. If there's any men out there that have those type of deviant behaviors or idea, please seek some help, okay, before it manifests into something even worse. Okay, it's an extremely serious ordeal. That this is getting crazy. That some of our women are being abused and being murdered. Some of our children are being abused, molested, violated, and murdered. And there needs to be active justice on our part. We have to be really, extremely student watchmen to make sure that our children and our women are protected at all times. Okay, this is a serious matter, a serious ordeal. I don't play around with this. This is something serious because I know for me personally, because I'm a father, this definitely hits home. All right, because I'm somebody's significant other, this definitely hits home. Okay, because I have sisters and brothers and nieces and nephews and a mother, and an aunt. This definitely hits home. This is a serious ordeal. Okay, so I just want to make sure I put that out there because there's a lot of things that are developing in that area. And it's not just in Israel, the Israelite community, that's in the Black community in general. So it doesn't matter what you decide that you want to identify as. This is a prevalent issue that is is very pervasive in the atmosphere and climate of our community. And this is something that needs to be checked. It needs to be checked. This is not nothing to be played with. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that is caught doing that, just know there's justice that will be served for that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you need help, you need to go seek help. You need to seek help. And you need to find some way to keep yourself away from any potential temptation while you're going through help and assistance for some type of rehabilitation to take place. Okay? How that is, I don't know. The Yah's going to deal with that. But as far as us, if that anything ever happened to my children, all I'm gonna say is I don't even know if there's gonna be a story about it, but that's something else. I'm just saying that's how serious it is, and that's how much I care about the people and the individuals in my household. It's an extremely serious deal. So I just want to make sure I put that out and let you know that I do not play with that. So if anybody got an idea, if they see me with children, that comes in your mind, just know there's serious repercussions that come along with it. It's not worth it. That's all I gotta say. It's not worth it. So with that in mind, family, let's move forward because again, that's a serious matter. And anybody that needs, to speak about this, to share information about this, you could hit us up, but I would definitely send you over to other people who are designated to handle these type of matters more in depth because my time is not huge. But if you do make a point to contact me about something, I want to make sure that you get the assistance, the help that you need. And if it's not from me, then it will definitely come from another source because people need to be able to feel confident enough to reach out to people who they trust to share information with. You know what I'm saying? And again, nobody in this chat is without any defects as far as morality is concerned. Yes, there's a degree of perfection we can achieve by keeping the statutes, laws, and commandments, but at the same time, we're still trapped in this human experience, right? So people are still going to fall short at some point. All right. But that to me, I can't fathom like that's crazy. And you know what? There's a lot that I've researched over the past 10 years on this subject matter, that there is a degree of energy that people siphon when they take the innocence of others. So when we look in Torah where it talks about virgins, that is a degree of locked up energy that if it is not delicately released, there is going to be a schism as it pertains to the fabric of, I would say, connectivity that we have in our community. It's almost like Wi-Fi, right? And how Wi-Fi can be obstructed if you have certain walls that have certain things in it, whether it's steel beams, whether it's plywood, or whatever else may be in there. you have obstructions that can interfere or can break up the signal or the frequency when it's trying to reach out. And every time the innocence is taken from someone, whether it's a child or whether it's a young woman or a woman in general, that's something that is, I mean, it's very difficult to kind of put back together. And that's with any kind of trauma, right? But that's like the worst out of any trauma that somebody can experience, is to lose your innocence to somebody, simply because you did not have the conscience to protect yourself or to be able to discern manipulation and so forth. So I just wanted to say that because we really do care about our community. And I'm telling you, man, this is something that's everywhere. We don't support any of that over here at KHM at all. As well as any kind of falling short in any kind, even with myself. It's not acceptable. We have to do better. And we have an obligation to strive to do better, because we are supposed to do our best to reflect the Creator's will here in this earth, and it takes a lot to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that this is shared and that we are aware of this, because again, this is an extremely serious matter. All right. So I want to make sure that that's out there. All right. Shout out to Howard Seraphin in the building. Nita, hopefully she's with you, Howard, watching in. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your support. As always, I just recently today saw your last email, so I'm gonna respond to it for y'all. And got your shirts, are gonna be ordered shortly, so that way we can set them up and send you guys the package out. So we got y'all. So I appreciate y'all. All right. So now we're moving forward from that. What I want to say is I want the family to understand that, like I said, from the 10 years that I've done research, there's a lot of things that I've discovered in my research and in speaking to clergymen and different sects of Christianity who have revealed a lot of things to me by way of that arena of violation and the type of potential energy that is siphoned from that empowers people to become predators, because now they become open vessels to certain entities when they unlock that, right? And it is something that's tapped into, and this is something that is a generational thing that has been placed upon our community. You understand what I'm saying? That we are now suffering from, and it's something that we in-house have to take to, get together, make sure that we apply Torah as principally as possible, so that we can filter out all of the stuff that's going on and make sure that justice is being done, and make sure we empathize with anybody who has been victimized, anybody that has been violated, and to ensure that, they have an honest voice in regards to what has occurred, you know what I'm saying? And to make sure that, again, that, we find a way of balance of justice within our community and justice, in regards to the laws of the land. These things have to be put forth, and they have to be screened, and they have to be dealt with appropriately, right? So I just wanted to say that to the family, so that way, everybody's clear and aware of what my position is on that. I mean, it should already be apparent to people that know me. But I just want to make sure I make it even more crystal clear. All right. So like I said, in the future, I may put together a short PowerPoint on that, so that I can share with you the research and testimonies that I've encountered in regards to that, because it's extremely eye-opening, and I think it's necessary that this needs to be shared. So that's coming down the pipe. So next, I want to say to y'all who are following the calendar, we just encountered the harvest moon. All right. So I don't know if y'all know what the harvest moon is. Let me see if I could bring it up for y'all, so you can see what the harvest moon is. And yesterday was Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. Some people would say that because the harvest moon was there on Friday the 13th, that was an omen or the harbinger, right? They always put that word harbinger in a negative connotation. Okay. But the harvest moon is there to indicate to you that we are in the 7th month. Okay. And this time it's the 7th month. So some people, have different dates and when they keep Yom Teruah. For me and KHM, and even HCA, we're celebrating it tomorrow before sunset. Okay, so that means the moon ushers in it's the harbinger to announce the arrival when the next day that comes, the following day that follows, when the sun comes up, is that first of that month, which is the 7th month. Okay. Now, there's 4 major months according to pre-Israelite culture. The first is Aviv, Ziv, then Ethanin, and Bo. So this would be Ethanin. All right. So we have the moon as the harbinger of Ethanin. Sorry, just taking care of the kids in the background. But so that would be Ethanin that we have here right now, which is the start of Ethanin. But let me just read something to y'all so you know what the harvest moon is, so you can understand what is a harvest moon, okay? So let me grab it here for you. All right, so it says here, this is from bbc.co.uk, and it says, what is the harvest moon? It says the harvest moon is the name given to the full moon that takes place closest to the autumnal equinox. This is why the harvest moon can fall anytime between September and October. Why is it called the harvest moon? It's called the harvest moon because the moon is particularly bright and rises early. In the past, this allowed farmers to extend their working day and work by the light of the extra bright moon, gathering crops to prepare for the winter months, hence harvest. All right, so this is what the harvest moon is. I mean, this is extremely important. Now, let me read this here. It says, this is special as it's rare for a harvest moon to fall on Friday the 13th. Now, that's interesting because we're out of August and the so-called 400 years of captivity should have been up. But, I mean, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. I'm still here at home. Ain't nothing take place. Oh, wait, maybe I might be one of the 2/3. That's probably why I'm still sitting here. Maybe I got left behind, right, in the rapture, however you want to call that. But the bottom line is the 400-year captivity doctrine is falling flat on its face. Why? Because nothing happened. And that's really interesting because I say that 400-year captivity has already been completed, okay, in the past, has already been completed. I know I've had a discussion with somebody that wants to debate that with me. If anybody else wants to have that discussion with me, definitely hit me up, holler at me, let me know. I'll let you know that 400-year doctrine that's being superimposed onto African Americans in the diaspora here in the Americas, that is not applicable. Hence why nothing happened. This is why I tell people that culture is greater than prophecy. Prophecy is extremely subjective. You have to be very delicate in how you maneuver and handle prophecy. You understand what I'm saying? And when you understand the cultural, historical, and linguistic context behind what is being conveyed, then you can more accurately align prophecy the way that it was intended. Right? When you do textual criticism, you see this as well. Go into archaeology, you can see this as well. Look at history, you see this as well. Go into the language, you see this as well. So all of these things are extremely important. So that way, when you identify certain things that are appearing, you can really put your finger on it and say, oh, okay, I see what's going on. You don't have to rush and be quick to announce it because you feel that the Most High sent you to say these things, and then you say these things and nothing happens. You got to be extremely careful with that, But with that being said, the harvest moon is definitely here. It is our indicator that fall is arising. So, remember I told y'all, what we teach at KHM is that the full moon is the new moon. And hence, look at nature. You have the harvest moon that's there to indicate for us that fall is about to begin. Isn't that beautiful? Where it's one of the great lights, the Hagadol order, the great light. And that's what the moon is. It's there to usher in, has been a great name for one of the signs for the seasons, Teruah, or the Moedim. That's what it really means, the gathering time. So Feast of Trumpets is when you usher in that, okay, we're about to head into the fall, so let's feast. Let's symbolize it with trumpets. And then from there, then we have our atonement 10 days later. And then from there, a couple of days later after atonement, then that's when you have your Sukkot. All right? So, Shabbat Shalom. And for those of you who are celebrating the first day of Ethanim, Yom Teruah, Semyach. Right. So let me move forward from there. Let me go ahead and check this out. So shout out to Andrea Wright in the building. Shout out to KB in the building. What's going on? Derek Yashara Al in the building. Let's see. Shout out to New Black World Order. What's going on? Again, make sure y'all share this link. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And the contact information will be in the description. It'll be on the screen, and donation information is on the screen as well. Unless you guys want to do a super chat, it's all up to you. I appreciate any and all support, family. All right. Facts, John Williams. Facts. Shout out to Spiritual Combat in the building. What's going on, Mikhail Israel? What's going on, my brother? Seen him out in North Carolina. Y'all go ahead and just hit that, click on Spiritual Combat, subscribe to that channel. You'll see all the live streams for the Hebrews to Negroes events, and as well as the brother Mikhail speaks on a variety of different topics and subject matters. So definitely support that brother, all right? Let me see. Shout out to Israel Witness and Servants that in Barbados viewing. I appreciate that. Just looking, what's going on? Shalom. I never catch live streams anymore. Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on that, getting that done much sooner so y'all can catch the live streams, because I know a lot of people, I'm talking about hundreds of people reach out because they want to see it live and not just get a replay of it. So I know I have an obligation to kind of shift that and working on that. Like I told you, I'm transitioning to doing this full time, so that way time management will be much better, because all my time, aside of family, will be devoted to ministry, right? So that all is required to other avenues of revenue that I'm working on, as well as support from the family, so that way we could do that 110% and give back to the people, because all of y'all have supported me for the longest in every way imaginable, and I'm extremely grateful for that, right? Extremely grateful, and I'm gonna continue to help y'all out, support y'all, give y'all information and so forth, all right? Now, shout out to Kelly Rivers. Now, KB, that's my brother right there, right? Shout out to Don Terry, what's going on? KB is my brother right there, but he says, but they weren't enslaved 400 years in Egypt. Okay, so anybody else got a question? If you have a question about Yom Teruah, let me know and I'll address that. If you have a question about the 400-year captivity, to say, well, was it completed in, during the Israelites' time, from Canaan to Mizraim? And some people say no, it's being done today. And if it's being done today, people try to line up 1619 with 2019 in August, and now things is off and stuff like that. But with that being the case, I did a whole live stream on this 400-year doctrine, and that live stream was just a preliminary, right? I didn't even release all the information, because if you go back and watch that video, it is already long, right? It is just littered with a lot of information. And I see it's a double-edged sword, right? A lot of people do like the information, and some people say, well, it's a lot, so it takes them some time to get through it, right? But I try to put enough in there, so if I'm ever absent for a week or two without a live stream or a new video, you can always go back to my old live streams and my old sessions, and there's so much in there, so much information in there. Okay, so much information in there. So John says, I heard that the 430 years included Canaan. Is that true? Depends on what translation you look at. Not translation, excuse me. Well, translation too. Which manuscript you look at. So there's several witnesses, right? You have the Masoretic text, you have the Dead Sea Scrolls, you have the Samaritan text, you have the Septuagint. Some people throw, they throw Josephus in there, and then you have other little remnant documents that we have as well, and they all testify differently, right? So some of them have Canaan and Egypt as far as the sojourn. Some of them just have Egypt in there. And if you want to know the development of that, I shared all of that in that session. but you'll be able to see that, right? Yeah, so KB, I got you. Let me grab that video for you. So give me a second. I'll grab it for you. No problem. No problem. All right. So I did that. Here it is. Okay. I got the video for you. There it is. There you go. Appreciate that, Chris. Chris dropped it in there as well. So just looking, can you expand on the 70? I don't know what you mean by that. Hello, Andrea. What's going on? Dirty 30. What's popping? True Boy 37. Shalom. Takaya Israel. What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for joining in. It is late Friday night, early Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could be doing anything else, but you're here, tuning into KHM TV. What's going on, family? Shout out to Freddie Jackson in the building. What's up? What's up? All right, so let me see what y'all saying. So KB, the link is there. Click on that, check that out. Let me know what you think about that. But again, you'll see what my position is now. Also, the sojourn in Egypt, right? So remember, there's 3 different views, right? There's a high, mid, and low chronology, right? So the high, mid, low. So I would say early, middle, late. I'll do it like that. It's an early chronology, middle chronology, and late chronology, right? This is my terminology. So early chronology would say that the Israelites exited out of Egypt during the Middle Kingdom period, right? Before the Hyksos came in. Then there's the middle chronology, which says that they exited out after the Hyksos during the 18th dynasty. And then the late chronology says that they exited out during the reign of Ramses II, which is the 19th dynasty, okay? So depending upon where you place the Israelites exiting out of Misraim is going to have a significant impact on your interpretation of that 400-year sojourn, okay? Also, the manuscripts that you utilize is also going to do that as well, because you have 50% of the manuscripts that are saying Canaan and Egypt, 50% saying just Egypt. So there's different ways in how you can handle that. Textual criticism helps with that as well. Looking at different manuscripts helps with that as well. But also looking at archaeology in order to pinpoint when the Israelites exited out of Egypt. If you go to 1 Kings chapter 6, it says it was 480 years from the Exodus to the building of Solomon's temple, or the temple that Solomon built, 480 years. Okay, prior to that 480 years, you had another period of time of several hundred years where the Israelites were sojourning in Egypt. And like the brother John Williams had said, the perceived oppression occurred during the end of their sojourn in Misraim. Right. Shout out to Kenesha Morgan in the building. What's going on, Kenesha? Shout out to Gartrell McKinney in the building. Ashan, what's good? What's good? Shalom. Thank you for joining in. Could have been anywhere else, but you're here with us. So I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. All right. So, like I said, that 400-year doctrine situation, I mean, we gotta do something about that, man, because now it's September and I'm like, what, am I the 2/3? You know what I'm saying? Did I miss the spaceship? Trying to figure out what happened because I'm still here. Or maybe I'm not part of the elect. I mean, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe all of that other stuff is miscalculated. And that's why nothing happened, nothing popped off. All right. Westcat 5, are you asking me objectively according to the text or my personal perspective? All right. Yeah, Ashan, you know how it is, man. You know how it is, man. Sometimes the insomnia creeps in and you got to use that window to research, study, and devote time over to Yah, right? So that way you can get the peace of mind you need so you can sleep softly like a baby. So I feel you. I didn't have my boarding pass. That's interesting. I wonder what that boarding pass is. So KB, what are you saying? Are we counting wrong? I didn't see what you said before that. Just looking. Oh, Andrea, right? You said the name of the upcoming celebration, Yom Teruah. So I'll put it in the chat. So Yom Teruah is one of the Moedim, which is the feast days that Israelites are supposed to gather. So your first feast day would be your Pesach or your Passover. Your second one would be your Feast of Unleavened Bread or Hag Hamazot or Matzah, depending if you want to say singular or plural. Then after those two, your third major one is Shavuot, which is your Feast of Weeks. And then after that is your Yom Teruah. And then after your Yom Teruah is your Day of Atonement. After your Day of Atonement, you have your Sukkot. Now, some people include first fruits as a feast as well. So that's why I said 7, but it's really 6 major ones. And you'll see as the Israelites developed over time from what we have in Shemot to we have in Devarim, which is Deuteronomy, and Shavuot. Yeah, I'm getting tongue tied. Shemot, which is our book of Exodus. There is a development of events over time, and there's redactions that were done to the text, where Devarim or Deuteronomy was a later text that was then appended on top of the rest of the other 4 books. From my position, I say that that Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers is older than Bereshit, and then we get Devarim, Bereshit being Genesis, then we get Devarim much later, and I believe Devarim is a late post-exilic Israelite appendage to the first 4 books that then became colloquially known as the Chumash or the 5. And I went over this before whenever I touched on textual criticism of the Chumash of the first 5 books, right? So that's what we talk about, Yom Teruah. So no problem. Going into the text, although I would be interested in your opinion as well. All right, so you brought up Leviticus 23 and 23. All right, again, family, I showed y'all that my background image, and I said, if y'all can figure out who that is in the background image, what that represents, what's going on there. So that's still up there. If you want me to incentivize it, I can. But I thought somebody would have given me an answer by now, but we'll see. So you said Vayikra 23:23. Let's do it. Vayikra 23:23. Let's see what we got going on. Leviticus 23:23. All right. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall observe a day of solemn rest, a memorial proclaimed with blasts of trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall not do any ordinary work, and you shall present a food offering to Yah." So was that a reference for the sister that asked about the feast day? If so, let me know. Let me know if that's what you're talking about. Yes, Chris. Yes. That's the Isha's thing right there. What? Black guy? I don't know what that question means. All right, Kanisha, I'm gonna do what I did in the beginning, so you probably came in late. So let me shift it down so you can see the image in the background. So hold on 1 second so y'all can see. Let me shift it down. Shift it down. There you go. Let me move me out of here for a little bit. There you go. Y'all see that? Shout out to my sister Noelle Ya in the building. What's going on, sis? What's going on, sis? Joshua is old as the first 4, but Yes, it's believed that Joshua is as old as the first four and was written probably after or laid out after, obviously after the first four was laid out as well as a continuation of the leading up into Canaan, right? Because that's the summation of the Chumash. Okay. What? Black guy, I don't know what you're talking about right now, man. All right. Well, anyway, let me shift. All right. So that's the image there, family. All right. Let me know who that is, what that represents. As you can see, it's interesting. You see the six-pointed star with the lion in the middle of it over here. And if you look over here, well, you can't see it, but behind here is another six-pointed star or whatnot. But you should be able to hear to see these hats here, and these hats should help to give it away. So I'm gonna let that stay up there for a second. Let me put this back. All right, so let me Gartrell McKinney, not that I know of. If I hear something, I will definitely share it with y'all. No problem. So Kanisha, hopefully you saw that image. All right. Noelle, yeah, I moved it down. Oh shoot, didn't mean to do that. Hold on. So y'all saying nothing happened? It's not showing it. Okay, I see what y'all talking about. That's really interesting that if I manipulate this, it doesn't reflect in real time. All right, now black guy, I'm gonna have to ignore you now because it looked like you trolling. All right, looks like you trolling. Okay, I can't speak to that because I have no clue what you're talking about. All right, so let me scroll back up. I also wanted to show something that's interesting. Two things I wanted to show that's interesting. If I can get past this section right here, okay. Yeah, just looking. We always get, this type of stuff coming in at this time of night. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the harvest moon this time, and it was Friday the 13th. So the overflow of that energy is now coming into the live stream. So I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm trying to catch all your questions real quick so I can transition. KB, inclusive counting methods. Please elaborate on that a little bit more and or provide a reference and I'll check it out. And I guess Israel Witness and Server, that's where we differ on that. That's where we differ on that. So you gave me West Cat 5, you gave me a different scripture than the question that you inquired. All right, so let me come back down and follow some of the things you're saying. All right. I agree, Kushex. I don't think it is either, but hey, that's what people I feel the need to do sometimes. And it's interesting because it depends on what you are. Like if you're a Messianic Israelite, if you're a non-Messianic Israelite, these fabricated labels that's placed on people. If you are Messianic Israelite, Acts chapter 1 deads anything that people are trying to do in regards to this 400-year captivity. Like, they asked Yeshua, well, when is the end gonna come? He said, yo, y'all got work to do. Why you asking me those type of questions? Get the job done. So we gotta get the job done. And that's what my focus is. So if people can focus on prophecy and stuff like that, I'm focusing on getting the job done. Right. And being so busy getting the job done that I don't have to sit back and, be so perplexed by whether signs and wonders are occurring or not when there's work that needs to be performed in the interim. And if you're non-Messianic, it talks about, we hear, the end times prophecies from the Nevi'im, where they talk about the various things that's going to happen, the signs and the wonders. But now that Israel's been dispersed, it's our job to wake Israel back up, right? And it's to teach them these, what we call the mitzvot, right? To give them these cultural mandates from the literature again, and to reform them and retransform them, you know what I'm saying? So we can get back into the community and autonomy state of mind. So either way, this is what we're here to do. Shout out to By Hearing and Hearing By. Shalom, shalom. Yes, it is a throne back there. I'm gonna put what it is here in the chat. There you go. I'll give you a huge clue there in the chat. So y'all definitely check that out. Is there a scripture written in any book about the Holy Spirit upon the earth visiting someone? What? I mean, if you wanna look in the book of Matthew or Lucas, you have an incident where, you know, it's saying that the Holy Spirit is going to overshadow Miriam, you know what I'm saying? And that within her, that, you know, that's within her is of the Holy Spirit. But some people say it's with, depending upon how you translate that word there in the Greek. But then when you look at it, it's slightly different when you look at it in the Eastern text. So that's an incident of the Spirit visiting. If you go to Acts chapter 2, you know, the Spirit comes down upon the apostles, you know, so that's another testimony of that as well. When Yeshua was being baptized, the Ruach came down as a dove, like a dove, symbolically, and came upon him. So that's a visitation, if you want to call it a visitation. So all of these are like visitation accounts. So is that what you're referring to? Let me know if that's what you're referring to. All right, DJ, you keep asking about Ezekiel 16:3. Are you asking me if that's literal or if that's symbolic? I think that's where you're getting at. Let me know if that's where you're getting at. My oldest daughter was invited to a bar mitzvah for her classmate. Should I let her attend? Yes, let your daughter attend, as long as she's been rooted, anchored, and empowered by her cultural identity, so she can utilize that after the session is over, not during, as a testimony, right? Her cultural mandate, it impresses upon her that she has to be set apart from everybody else. So when the time comes, they're going to identify something different about her, and it's going to open up a new world discussion where she can now lead in sharing this information with her classmates. So I only think it would be a bad suggestion if she's not rooted, grounded, and anchored into the information. But if she is, and you've instilled it upon her, then yeah, let her go and be a light unto those individuals. All right.